Good afternoon and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. My name is Ken Ochonogo and we're taking a trip around the sporting world. Last week before we left here, we were thinking, Jimmy was very concerned about this doubling the points in Abu Dhabi. All right, now they said that is the end. We are not going to double the points again. But at the end of the day, it was like even the double point system became more of an academic issue, because the man who has been leading, who is Jimmy, has been saying, yes, it will be, how do I say it? It will be an injustice for him not to have won, did the winning. So in Abu Dhabi, it came to a grand finale. And yes, for the second time, Lewis Hamilton is the Formula One champion of the whole world. Jimmy will give us details of that when we move on. And then also, it's also Jimmy's day, because Federer, one of those things that have been missing is he is the greatest, they say. But if you are the greatest, you should have won this, you should have won that. Finally, Switzerland, they won a Davis Cup, beating the French team. And Federer, yes, they settled with Wawrinka. So is it part of the great now? People are still saying, the Olympic gold you won is a double, not the single like what Nadal won. But then I trust Jimmy. He will take it there. Before we also left last week Sunday, it was the climax of our domestic football, where Enyimba, we sang that song, Nzobu. Yes, it has to be Enyimba who defeated the Dolphins of Port Harcourt. And then yes, the Port Harcourt didn't go empty-handed, because Rivers Angels also did collect that trophy back to back. Is it to back? I don't know. But it has been dominant, because they are the female team that has been, ruling Nigerian female football for a very, very, very long time. We hope that yes, some class will come in to challenge them. Where is what former babes? What are you? The queens from Abuja, Osun, Bayelsa queens, all the queens everywhere. We have even some Ibon queens. And then the angels came and took the queens to the cleaners. Controversy when it comes to who is the best footballer in the world. Last year, a lot of us alleged rigging. That for one man, they changed the rules. And that's this year again, the same man is at the center. It is either CR7, he wins, or he doesn't. But this year, Platini dropped the bombshell. For you to be the best in the year we play the World Cup, you must win the World Cup. So let the best player in 2013, 2014 come from Germany. Let him be a member of the German winning team. Real Madrid says no. Larry, they are here. They will look at the details. And then we shall pop up with demand. You can't just wish him away. First of all, the NFA, now they are transitioning to NFF, because the Senate has passed that bill, but the president yet to assent, so they are still the NFA. Until that is legally done, we shall recognize them as such. Keshi, you are sacked, they said, go for a refresher course. Then suddenly, they came back and said, no, Amadou Shuabu, who is the head of the technical committee, has recommended that. Yeah, no, the director, stay with your job. The time is too short. And then eventually we didn't qualify. But right now, Emeka Yama says we are offering him contract. Is it 7 million? Is it 9 million? A lot of figures have been dropped. But then it has to be about Keshi. We call him MON. Big Sheikh, they say. He says, if you want to sack Keshi, or if you have sacked him, whoever you are bringing must be better than Keshi. He must have a better record for the national team, even play better football than Keshi. A lot of things he has said. We shall look at all that. It has to be the Keshi issue. Where do we go from here? It is Channel Sport on Sunday. My team is in the house. Before we start looking at the papers, let's look at the roll call. You hear me?
Good afternoon, Ken. Good Sunday to be here. I gave it to Dolphin, but unfortunately, they didn't.
Yeah, you are not just you.
Hello, myself and Larry. but unfortunately, it did not go down that way. Eimba went the better side. That was on Sunday, and I think they deserve to be the Federation Cup champions.
Okay, Larry.
Always a pleasure to be here. I gave it to Dolphins as well. Not that I gave it to Dolphins. I actually wanted Dolphins. I wanted Dolphins to win because anybody won and anybody's always been there. And I thought Dolphins don't ever lose when they get to the final. But they disappointed me last weekend. But by and large, anybody deserved their win.
There is always an end to a streak.
Definitely.
Jimmy, I didn't bypass because I went there and came back.
You knew why we did that. Yeah, it was a fantastic week. Right from last week, Sunday, Lewis Hamilton getting to win the WDC after all the tumultuous, parts that we had all been through, after all the very boringly exciting times that we had throughout the Formula One season, where a lot of people started arguing on the fact that it was boring, or it actually was not boring. People comparing Vettel's dominance with the Mercedes dominance. Very great one. Enyimba winning, fantastic. I think I actually anticipated Enyimba winning, although last week I remember I said it would be one goal less draw. Whatever that means.
You are forgiving.
I'm forgiving. So it's great to be here.
The truth is, I'm actually surprised Jimmy didn't talk about Federer.
I should surprise you once in a while.
Okay. Before we do that, let us look at what is trending in the papers during the week. We want to start with Vanguard Sport, and they said, Ikechi, what is happening? Let's see what is happening with Vanguard Sport, and let us move on. Yes, there is match fixing. Ikechi to face trial in Spain. That is the back page rider. And then moving down, Keshi not the right man for Eagles. I think that is Lawal.
Garba
Lawal. Before we move on, let us, Jimmy, one of the reasons when Keshi came, he said, I don't want Garba Lawal. Is this part of the reasons why I said it would have been
a very tough call for you to expect Stephen Keshi would want to work with Garba Lawal, because he had been one ardent critic of Stephen Keshi. You ask yourself, why is this man so seemingly hard on him? Even when it seemed that the team was doing good, he never really, came to accept Stephen Keshi, his ways, his qualifications and what he had been able to achieve with the team. So it was just going to happen that Stephen Keshi was going to ask for Emmanuel Atta to be team coordinator. You ask yourself, what is the role of a team coordinator? If I have a team coordinator and I'm a coach, and the team coordinator doesn't, agree with
doesn't believe in your philosophy or your
doesn't believe in my philosophy or whatever I do, definitely I'm going to feel that internal sabotage will happen, and then there would always be the tendency that I would lose the dressing room, because you don't know who he's talking to. A team coordinator is supposed to instill team discipline. He's supposed to be in charge of a lot of the welfare of the players. And if these players, they tally with him or his reasoning and they don't like the coach, then there might be some problems along the line. That's why when, Garba Lawal have been criticizing, despite all whatever had happened, it's got to be said, I'm not surprised that Garba Lawal is still talking about this.
Larry still on this. That means, Keshi would have seen that, look, I don't want to have an enemy in the house.
Definitely. He as he mentioned, Chindo, as we call him, has been one of the harshest Stephen Keshi critics, and he has his own opinion, just the same way so many of those who analyze on TV, on cable television, actually have their own opinion to the Sunday Ulysses and co. Incidentally, many of them played in the almost the same generation. I think Keshi was stepping out just about the same time when Garba was stepping into the, and Garba Lawal knows his onions. He played almost under all the foreign and local coaches, even Shaba Modi, so to speak. So when he talks, I guess he's talking from a vantage, authoritative point of view.
You need somebody that believes in you to carry out your philosophy. Definitely. If he's coordinating for Keshi and doesn't believe in Keshi, do you see success in the team?
No, there's no way it's going to work. There's no way.
Okay, we'll still have that. Let us just take let's go to complete sports. Let's go to complete sports. Let's see what is there, because the rider is still on Uche in Spain. So after that, we can now move on. Is complete sport ready? Soccer Star. Sorry, Soccer Star. Let's go Soccer Star. Soccer Star. All right, yes. Uche risk jail term. Let's take the back page of Soccer Star too, so that we can just take it together. Let's take the back page. Yes, to hell with you. there are some gunners in the house. We know who said that. Sorry, we are using this. So that, we are reading what is in the newspaper. We don't try to use certain words, but that is what is there. Somebody said, I can damn the consequences. All right. Okay.
For any foreign coach?
Yes, for any foreign coach, you can read that will be hired.
Yes, minimum
irreducible requirements. His credentials must surpass anything Keshi presented. His playing and coaching experiences must surpass anything Keshi amassed. And finally, his mandate must also surpass Keshi's achievements to date.
I think that's absolutely
that is Chief Shegun Odegbami. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this at the where the program is going on. Because today is Keshi. We'll look about Keshi. We'll ask you join us on Twitter. Channels_sports. It will roll down there, and also at Ken Ochonogo. Give us your views. We're talking about that. This Shegun Odegbami's position. You have to be head, shoulder, everything above Keshi, both as a coach, as a player, understanding trophies, everything, before you say the next person to replace Keshi. So let us see what you have. That is next Eagles coach must be better than Keshi. And it was we brought the highlights of those better than that. The facts that he was talking about. These are the indices. These are things that you should look at if you want to pick the next one. Using Keshi as a benchmark,
as a barometer.
That is it. Using Keshi as a or Keshi's performance.
Exactly.
Even Keshi's person.
Okay.
Because he played.
That is what he said. That's what he said. That you must amass more titles than Keshi as a player. Because sometimes we did it about a few weeks back when we read out Keshi's credentials as a player from St. Finbar's College when he won the Principal's Cup, to New Nigerian Bank, where he led them to back-to-back waffle. Before then, Rangers have gone there, failed. Insurance have failed. Shooting Stars have failed. And then he took them to waffle, and they went back-to-back. In fact, they played the 10th year, they went into the final. But it was because Shooting Stars, withdrew from tournament. Nigeria withdrew and said, we are not playing. The New Nigerian Bank will have won it 3 years in a row. It went, won with Nigerian Bank also. They won the cup in Nigeria. He went to Abidjan. He won the title there. He went to Anderlecht. Captain Strasbourg. I mean, they were just piles and loads. And the first schoolboy international to captaining Nigeria to winning the Nations Cup outside the shores in '94 and qualifying for the World Cup for the first time. Qualified Togo for the World Cup. Qualified Mali for Nations Cup. A lot of them. But then this is his achievement. We are saying you want to retain him, fine. But then let's go back to the papers.